Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Somos Moss, the official podcast of Somos Moss NM, and your source for the latest news and notes on New Mexico United and the New Mexico Runners. My name, of course, is Seth Bidoff. Joining me this evening, we have the one, the only Jacob Turrell. Jacob, how are you doing this evening? I know we talked a little bit Saturday evening after the loss. Have you recovered, and how are things going? How's your wife doing?
Yeah. Start with the wife. She's doing good. She's ready to definitely have the baby. So we have an appointment Thursday that'll hopefully tell us more or less when we can plan on having it, if we do a C-section or get induced or whatever. And so, yeah, everything's going good there. As for the match on Saturday, yeah, I've pretty much recovered. Didn't have a whole lot of time. We got Phoenix tomorrow, which we'll talk about here in a bit. And so, as Belichick would say, or Troy would say, on to the next one, on to Phoenix. So,
yeah, I mean, that's really all we can do at this point, with the matches coming as quickly as they are this week. That's really all there's time to do. And before we do get into that, I do want to make sure we shout out. We did have a special bonus episode go live this morning. Earl's, should I say daughter?
Sure.
We'll say Earl's daughter, Maya.
He's not here to change. He's not here to tell us anything different.
and Marlena's not in the chat to tell us otherwise. So, Maya got to interview Murshad Ahmadi from the New Mexico Runners. That went up on our feed yesterday, or this morning, I should say. So be sure to go give that a listen if you haven't already. Cute little interview from Maya. So congratulations to her for doing that. Obviously it takes a lot the first time you talk to someone in that capacity. And I'm sure we could talk to Daylin about her experience talking to Troy and some of the players, and even my son has done it. My oldest son has asked a question. So congratulations to her on doing that. So go check that out. Before we do get into tonight's topics, Jacob, I do have one burning question for you.
Yes.
The NFL draft is this week.
It is.
What does your team need?
Everything. Now, at least I think we're probably good on quarterback in the eyes of the office. And wide receiver, we're probably pretty set. And then other than that, it's like, I don't know. Our running back, our number one running back's like a third rounder from last year. Or maybe a sixth rounder from last year, who I like, but our offensive line, hopefully, if our offensive line is healthy again, we should be set there, actually. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't know if that's knows a coach or knows how to coach.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure that out here in just a little bit. Falcons, of course, have the number 8 overall pick this year because we sucked last year. And I mean, to be completely honest with you, I know we have Ritter, but I don't know. I really don't know how he's going to pan out. So I would not be against a quarterback somewhere in the first or second round. But that being said, I think our more pressing need is somewhere on the offensive line, get a little bit of depth there. We have had a number of injuries the past couple seasons. So I think some offensive line depth, maybe some help at the defensive back positions would be a big boost for the Falcons. So, the draft kicks off Thursday night, round 1. Yeah, you can hear everything if you don't have NFL Draft Cast and all that kind of stuff here in Albuquerque or online at ESPN 1017.com. You can listen to the entire draft. I am a company man.
Da-na-na.
Thank you. No, Harry, no. I don't want Lamar Jackson. I do not.
That's the dumbest thing you've ever said.
I don't want him. We have more pressing needs. We have Ritter. We have Ritter. Like I said, I don't know where he's going to be. Maybe he'll develop into something. I don't really know. But number one, we're still pressed for cap space. So signing Lamar Jackson is probably not even an option for us. So
are you really?
As far as I know, we are. Even with Julio being gone, with Matt Ryan's contract being offloaded, we had a lot of dead money.
You guys have been bad since you went to the Super Bowl, and you're still strapped.
Well, because those contracts we gave them. those contracts were terrible from a team perspective.
Yeah.
The money's still in the books though. That's the thing, because those guaranteed deals and whatnot. There's parts of the contract that are still on the books. So it's not looking forward to that this year. That's why you see all these free agent signings we've had. They're like no money. That's what that is. So anyway, moving right along into our main topics of the week. The first up on our agenda is, of course, Open Cup. Tomorrow night, New Mexico United hosts at the Lab for the first time in 3 years of Open Cup competition. Phoenix Rising FC, surprise, surprise. Jacob, we talked about a couple weeks ago when the draw happened. Not really surprised that we got paired with Phoenix Rising once again. Do you think at this point, do you think having the third consecutive Open Cup appearance against them, do you think it hurts the rivalry? Do you think it builds the rivalry? Are we kind of indifferent to it at this point?
No, I mean, it for sure builds the rivalry once the game starts, for sure. I think fans are probably tired of it. I know it was kind of split when it was announced, whether on social media, whether people were excited for it or kind of like us and like, oh man, again. But I think once the game starts and we actually start seeing the chippiness and the shit talking and going back and forth, and especially if it's close and not a blow away, then I think it'll just build the rivalry once that happens.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I know I was one of the ones who was not enthused about the drawing. I am in particular. I'm so tired of seeing it. And again, it's not from a matter of perspective. It's not from the perspective that I hate playing Phoenix, because I do. I'm just tired of seeing them in the Open Cup. Like, I would have much rather seen any of the other clubs in our division, or region, I should say. So the question is, like, what can the Cup do? Do they need to adjust the regions? Do they need to maybe make the pots a little bit bigger? I mean, what's the fix for this? Because you look at some of the other matchups that happened this week as well. I mean, Charlotte and Independence played again, or Charlotte Independence Charleston Battery played again.
My goodness.
Hold
on.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, the birthday boy himself, out of nowhere. I saw your little thing pop up in our backstage, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's Stone Cold's music!"
Oh dear God! I also got a new job title, by the way.
I see
so
that.
Did I
see that. Who is that, Harry?
Yeah, Harry. We have no idea. We have not seen this person in quite some time.
Hold on, time out. Time the fuck out. Time the fuck out. I was gonna be here last week, but I had genital herpes.
You had
on my
pink
eyeball.
eye.
I had genital herpes on my eyeball.
Okay, I was gonna be nice and just say pink eye, which is what it was, but you're the one that says herpes. So,
thoughts on the new Triple H belt? I love it. Roman Reigns held.
You guys talk about that for 5 seconds. I'm gonna give me some drink.
Yeah, I think that Roman Reigns has held the WWE hostage for far too long. And the fact that they're going to introduce a new belt that can be defended anytime, anywhere. I love it. I'm excited for it.
So my question for you about that then, Earl, is this a new 24/7 championship, or is it a legitimate,
it's a legitimate world heavyweight championship with 24/7 championship rules.
Okay. I honestly don't
Instead of the 24/7 championship, how it was, where it's like a backstage thing, not really anything contested.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be that, but you're also trying to defend it through a storyline as well.
Okay. I saw that clip. I was like, interesting, but I don't necessarily. I wasn't necessarily a big fan of the 24/7 title, but if this is a belt that's going to put some guys on the map and give them legitimate pushes, then by all means.
Yeah, and I think the first one that should have the belt is Cody Rhodes.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Really I'm a huge Cody Rhodes fan.
So all right, so we've gone from Cody at WrestleMania against Roman to now an offshoot title. Like, come on, that's a step down for Cody. Cody should what they're gonna do is they're gonna draft Cody and Roman to the same show
No.
because you can't. Is Cody really gonna like feud with Finn Balor now? Like, come on.
So I think, then this is just my opinion, my 2 cents worth. Cody will be drafted to Raw because that was part of his contract thing, was him.
Timeout. Did you say
Timeout.
drafted? Is there a draft?
Yes.
There is.
I remember when that happened back a long time ago. That was exciting. I might have to actually look into this.
Yeah. So, Marlena, thanks for the happy birthday. I do appreciate it. Even though I spent all day with you, and
For the record, I did say happy birthday when you first came on. So
yeah, for the record, you two assholes didn't text me today.
that's because you wouldn't reply even if we did.
Actually, I would have, you son of a bitch. I would have replied.
Well, the past 6 months say differently. Okay.
Sorry.
Earl, how old are you?
21.
Thanks, Harry. Would you believe me if I said 30?
30.
Yeah.
Wow. You're catching up.
I finally crossed that milestone where now if I get out of the bed wrong, my back hurts. And I now become DJ. My neck.
Coach Steve.
Thanks,
in the
Coach
chat.
Steve. Appreciate it. So
He's a big.
I
guy.
wasn't gonna touch that one, but okay. Earl can
We
finally
keep-
sit at the adult table at Thanksgiving.
I'm gonna keep it PG.
You can't order from the kids menu anymore, Earl.
I couldn't. Actually, there's a 5-year-old in my life, so I still can.
Oh, fair.
Very fair.
Anyways, like I was saying, back to the Cody Rhodes thing and the draft. So yes, there is a draft. It's happening this Friday and Monday. And I think Cody gets drafted to Raw because that's part of his deal coming back. So he'll be on Raw, and then he'll be the heir of the new title.
I think it's a terrible idea to give it to Cody. Give it to Finn. Give it to Logan Paul for all I care. Like, just don't.
So what exactly has Finn Balor done in the past,
I'm just like, don't give
4
it to
months.
Cody.
in the past 4 months? What has he done?
I just don't want to see Cody have it. Cody deserves a shot at the Universal Championship. Cody doesn't need to go from feuding with Roman to
So
suddenly.
here's the thing, though,
Finn
about
Balor.
that.
Like, it doesn't
Yes,
make
I
any
would love for
sense.
Cody to have a Universal Championship, but but the thing with the Universal Championship is they can't let Roman lose the title without making him look weak. So if he loses the title, his whole, let me pull this thing down, his whole greatness on a different level.
He has to lose at some point. He can't wear the belt until he dies.
Yeah, he can. So his whole thing, and it begins. So his whole.
Do you guys know that scene in Finding Nemo when Squirt, the little turtle, is talking to Marlin, and he's telling him how to exit the whatever it's called?
Yeah.
And then Finding Nemo goes, "It's like he's trying to speak to me. I know it." It's kind of how I feel right now because I'm very lost. I don't know why you hate Cody Rhodes. I don't know what the hell this new title is. I'm just very, very confused, and I don't understand how Earl thinks Roman Reigns is just champion for Infinity.
So no, he won't be champion for Infinity. He will be champion until he breaks the record.
I don't care about the record. He just dropped the belts. But so
yeah, no one cares about you.
What we're talking about in terms of a new belt is that Triple H basically came out on Raw this week and said that Roman defends the belt so infrequently that they need a new championship that's going to be defended far more often.
Is he wrong though?
No, he's not.
Is Roman
But-
on Raw?
No.
Roman goes on whatever
He's on
show he
both.
wants to go on.
He's on both.
Yeah.
So if Stone Cold's the boss, or not Stone Cold, if Triple H is the boss, can't he just make more title matches for Roman?
Nope.
Not when it's part of his contract.
Nah, Roman's only contracted for like a certain number of appearances or something.
He took a part-time deal.
Yeah, Triple H even addressed it. He said, Roman basically negotiated his contract to work for him. So yeah, basically pay-per-views, the occasional like Monday night appearance.
Script the next fight to get rid of the title for him.
You can't do that without making him look weak. And by doing that,
that's my argument.
You can do it in a way that's like backhanded to where somebody steals the title from him, and that doesn't make him look weak.
It then takes away the whole.
Why do you think?
Not if it's like a dirty move that gets the title.
No, he's on God mode. You can't let him lose. That's what it is.
But the thing is, Roman gets bailed out in every single friggin' match by the rest of the bloodline.
I know.
So how does he not look weak already when they don't script him to win a match all on his own?
I mean,
touche. Mic drop.
So yeah, I mean, I think WWE put themselves in a really bad spot,
and they put themselves in a terrible spot, not by letting Roman hold the title for so long, but by unifying the two titles into one. That's where they messed up. If they were to keep it the way it was, where he can be on both shows, defend the title on this one show for this one title, and defend the title on this one show, it would be fine. But the fact that they merged it into one to where now he has to defend both titles at the same time, that's where they messed up. Had they not unified the titles, we're good. But the fact that they unified it to make him look like he has to lose both of them at the same time, that's where they messed up. So this whole new title going to one show thing, I think it's a great idea. One, you can keep your storyline with Roman Reigns and try to get him to beat the record while doing your own thing with the new title and more people and a different storyline with that. I love that idea because that's the whole WrestleMania thing. And I'm going to go back to WrestleMania and the Royal Rumble, to where the winner of the Royal Rumble gets to choose between this title or this title. Not the winner of Royal Rumble gets to face this one person.
Is there only one title?
Yes, right now there's only one title.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I love the idea of them splitting the brands and going back to the two title thing just for more.
So there's not a Raw. Growth. There's not a Raw title and a SmackDown title?
Not anymore. No.
Okay, then yeah, there should be a second title. What are we even doing here?
They did the same thing for the tag belts too. It's just the one set of tag belts. So
why?
Yeah. Yeah, and so now they're trying to like force the Jey Uso sometimes bloodline, not bloodline mess, and then it's now Cody's randomly feuding with Finn Balor. Like it just doesn't.
No, right now Cody's feuding with Brock.
Or whatever.
Yeah, Cody's big feud right now is
Brock feuding with Brock, but then the Judgment Day wanted to join Judgment Day. Like, yeah, it's just dumb. Which is going to lead to a feud right there. So
yeah, I don't like the Judgment Day. I'm gonna put that out there right now. And I haven't liked the Judgment Day even when Edge was running the show.
Yeah.
So that goes back to my old point on why I don't want Finn Balor to win it, because the only thing he's done in the past 6 months is beat Edge.
Well, I'm not necessarily saying I want Finn Balor to have it. I'm saying give it to somebody that's not Cody.
Okay, Harry, who would you want to have the new World Heavyweight Championship?
Solo Sikoa with Rhea Ripley.
Shut your fucking mouth.
Why can't they just take are they seriously just gonna give it to somebody?
Yeah.
No, there's gonna be like a tournament type deal or something.
No, they're gonna hand it to somebody
at night. No, not by the way Triple H made it sound. Like at Night of Champions, they're gonna crown a champion.
Well, and I guess even if there's a match, they still technically hand it to somebody since it is all scripted. But yeah, I don't know why they don't just do like a Royal Rumble, not necessarily a Royal Rumble type, but a triple threat match or something like that to the top 3 contenders besides Roman Reigns.
Can we get back to what we are actually here for, and that's to talk about what I didn't watch all weekend, soccer?
Well,
So
that's
what-
good because we're not talking about what happened in the past, so that's good.
Yeah, we're done.
We're
Thank
looking
God,
forward.
because I watched
looking
the
forward.
last 44 and a half seconds of it.
Did I? You
Open
do
Cup.
realize you are
Open Cup.
you do realize you're the third host on a podcast where we typically talk about soccer.
Yeah, but I'm also the assistant general manager in charge of certain things.
That was good finger work. I'll give you that. That's difficult to do. But
Director of social media.
Jacob,
Yeah.
Open Cup. We were talking about it already. Earl, what are your thoughts on Phoenix being the draw?
It's old. I mean, it's what, the fifth season in a row that or fourth
Third.
Open Cup in a row that we've had Phoenix.
We've had them every Open Cup, but there's only been 3 Open Cups since we've
Same
been
thing.
in existence.
Either way, every time that we have an Open Cup and we make it to the third round, we have Phoenix. It's almost guaranteed. So it's kind of old news. I'm not looking forward to it because once again, it's old news and it's Phoenix. And I guess it's time to reincarnate the old saying of fuck Phoenix.
Yeah, it's like the 97th time we played Phoenix in the past
Yeah.
3 years. So
I'm
you know.
almost positive I can guarantee we have played El Paso more.
probably. Yeah.
It's just we
because
haven't
didn't-
played them in Open Cup.
Yeah, because we didn't have Phoenix. Was it 21?
20 and 21 in the
Yeah.
groups.
Yeah, it just it just feels like it. But I mean, yeah, the draw is what it is. So the question I posed before Earl popped in was, what does Open Cup have to do in order to fix these issues where you see repeated matchups?
I would say not allow USL versus USL in the third, fourth rounds. Because, so if you look at it, there's a very, very, very good possibility, or not really very, very, very good possibility. And Harry, close your ears because you're not going to like this. There's a chance where you have another USL versus USL match next round. Because if, God forbid it happens, I'm a Nashville fan, so God forbid San Antonio beats Nashville, which I don't see it happening. God forbid that actually happens. But if it does, you're probably looking at a New Mexico Phoenix versus San Antonio match. So that's the fourth round of USL versus USL. I think it should be USL versus MLS or USL versus whatever next level down. It shouldn't be same level.
Well, at this point, it may be all MLS versus MLS in the next round. So, with a few exceptions, given the way that tonight's results went. So, I think they just need to redo the regions or open up the regions. Make it like an 8-team pod or something, or something along those lines. Or, and I know they want to keep it regional to an extent, but do like Pacific and Pacific Northwest, or Pacific and Mountain, and do Central and Midwest, and East and Northeast, something along those lines, to where you've got a bigger pot, you got more options, and you got more possibilities, so that you don't necessarily see the same 2 teams playing year after year.
Yeah, I don't like it. Just because you get this problem where you're playing the same team over and over again, especially when you're going to play the same team in about a month and a half's time anyways.
I don't think there's anything they can do, guys. Well, mainly because like our pots have been four teams each time, right?
Mhm.
So there's a 33% chance we're going to draw Phoenix, and we've drawn them 3 times in a row. That's not saying it's fishy, but I'm saying it's fishy. Okay. I think that's the matchup U.S. Soccer wanted, and that's the matchup U.S. Soccer gave us. Part of it also in the past has been because we couldn't host. Now I know this year that's not the case, but in the past we've had, we couldn't host, so it kind of took us out of it, changed the odds in the way they do things there. And so sorry.
Well, last year was a 50-50 shot we get Phoenix, so
yeah. And so it maybe they can make the pods a little bit bigger and keep it still regional, but a little bit bigger region. But when you look at how the teams are laid out geographically, especially for us, it's maybe the Southern California teams we could get in with, maybe the Texas teams. But either way, Phoenix is going to be in our pod and have a chance of drawing Phoenix every year. And the only way to draw the boundaries are with Phoenix with us. Harry brings up a good point, though, that we need El Paso and Colorado to win, because then maybe we would have, it'd still be USL, but we could maybe have some other people play. But El Paso and Colorado Springs, I don't think have gotten out of the first round, other than Colorado Springs in 2019 when we played them and beat them in the second, or I guess that would have been the third or fourth round, the round after we played Phoenix. So what do you do? It is what it is. I kind of like it sometimes. Like I like seeing not us, but like I like seeing Charlotte versus Charlotte, Miami versus Miami. I think it's cool. But that's an MLS team against an MLS team or a non-MLS team. It's not us against a team that we play twice a year anyways. And so I think we're just kind of stuck with it and hope that the draw every year when we have Phoenix in our pot goes a different way.
Maybe they should need to do an East Coast, West Coast thing. Have one pot of West Coast teams, one pot of East Coast teams. And, basically if you're east of Texas, you're in the East Coast. If you're Texas or West, you're in the West Coast pot. And then you draw one from each side. Maybe you do that. I don't know. Because I would love to see, Charlotte, New Mexico, something along those lines, or NYCFC have to come play at the Lab since they play on a shit baseball field too, So I don't know. Maybe that's a possible solution, but I know they want to limit travel, so I don't know. But
yeah, it's the travel that kills. I think if it wasn't for the fact that, some lower division teams inevitably find their way into these rounds, that they don't want to, make, who is it? Maryland Bobcats FC travel to New Mexico, potentially. If it wasn't for that, then maybe we could open it up. Maybe we wait and say, hey, if you guys are in the, 5th, 6th round, then you got to be able to travel wherever we send you. But sorry, there's a Timberwolves game going. I get distracted easily. And it's in the last 3 minutes. But yeah, the travel's the big thing with the smaller teams, especially. And until they figure out how to allow them to travel freely, and don't take on that financial burden, we're not going to see giant pods.
Yeah. I just don't think like I said, I don't think there's a good answer. I think there's some ideas that could be floated around, now whether or not U.S. Soccer and the Cup organizers decide that they want to change things. I don't know.
U.S. Soccer changed things,
right?
U.S. Soccer in general.
Yeah, we all know they want to keep the USL down, so but moving on to our match specifically, looking at this, neither side has done particularly well so far this year in league play. Phoenix does hit a couple points ahead of us purely because they have 3 more draws than we do. They did add some attacking pieces such as Jackson Conway, Danny Trejo. They brought in Rocco Rios Novo. What does this Phoenix team present that might give United some trouble tomorrow night?
Oh, Danny Trejo. He's
the guy that Will Seymour put in his back pocket last time we played him?
Yes. because he's still good. One game isn't the be all end all. With I look at his body of work and say this guy is really freaking good, and that was on a Lights team. Remember, not a Phoenix squad, not a coach that actually might know what he's doing. And so we just have to see and go from there. But Trejo is definitely the most important and most dangerous piece on that Phoenix attacking side, anyways. And he's the one that we'll have to focus on, much like we did Damas against San Diego.
Earl, who's the big piece for Phoenix this week?
I would say Trejo as well. I mean, he knows how to score. He's done it before. So yeah, Trejo is my wild card on what we have to do and how we're going to actually defend him. But I mean, I don't know. I probably won't even watch the match. Just kidding.
Who's yours, Seth?
For me, the key for Phoenix is going to be their defensive play. They've had some issues again at the back. You know, they've got some nice attacking pieces up front. I think that they can be very dangerous, but they have to be better defensively. They going back to last year, they've not been very good at times. You know, they've allowed pace to kill them, and they've done a little bit of the same so far this year. Now, we don't necessarily have a lot of pace. I want to see how that back line defends and holds up in front of Rios Novo. And, you know, with our attacking woes so far this year, I think there's a very good chance that that Phoenix can put up a solid defensive effort. So it's not necessarily like one player in particular. It's that defensive unit.
See, I didn't know that was an option there. Since you said what player, but no, I agree there to an extent. They've only given up more than one goal in a match twice this season. Once to San Diego and once to both times to San Diego actually. But and everything else has been one goal. So they haven't kept a clean sheet, but it's still not. The defense hasn't been as bad as it was at times last year, if you ask me. So we'll have to see if our offense can figure out how to crack that, because our offense hasn't been good whatsoever. Now, did you guys think we see a rotated squad? For this match with Orange County coming up on the weekend, or does he roll out the quote unquote A team?
That's a great question. It's actually one that was asked of Zach in his presser day, not necessarily in that way, but I want to say it was Andy Hageman who asked the question, and Zach, very short to the point, said he's going to put the best squad. And so, I mean, with that being said, and, you know, I talked about today on Team Talk. For me, I think we see primarily the first team. I don't see this as an opportunity to play the younger kids. I don't see, you know, Miles or Milo or any of those guys, you know, getting time in this match.
So my question is, if Zach just said the best team,
yeah, I mean,
is that what he's been putting out there? Because I don't necessarily think that it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly, between tomorrow and Saturday, I think we see what Zach believes to be the best team tomorrow night, and then maybe a little bit of rotation on Saturday. But I don't see there being any rotation tomorrow night. I don't see Zach pulling anything back tomorrow.
I'm kind of glad you said that. Actually, I'm kind of not glad you said that.
Whoa. I don't know what you did in your quiet time there, but you were louder than shit right now. Let's turn the mic down just a hair.
I can't.
Back up. Do something. I don't know what you did.
Is that better?
I think so.
I don't know. Anyways, I actually don't like the fact that you said hit the best team. I know that's part of the quote, but that just adds fuel to Cole's fire to where if for whatever reason we don't win tomorrow,
I thought we were going to get through an episode without mentioning Cole.
I was praying to God so too, but
You brought him up.
Yeah.
we all know it's going to happen.
You didn't have to bring him up.
Either which way. I mean, you can go down the list on people that are on that whole bandwagon.
Yeah.
Either way, you're just going to add fuel to that fire of, he said this is the best squad. What the fuck?
Okay. Well, I mean, I went through some of the Nation comments, and I've looked at it from Saturday. I didn't. You guys know that I don't do Facebook a whole.
You're a glutton for punishment, aren't you?
I don't pay attention. It's hard enough going on Reddit because there's certain guys that have been hashtag Prince out since last year, and they're already on the Prince bandwagon. Hashtag Prince out bandwagon this year. I know there's another hashtag floating around on the Nation as well, but I look at the armchair coaches there, and I look. But the thing is, none of them have anything of substance to offer. They're not happy, which by all means they don't have to be. No one's saying they have to be happy with Zach's decisions or the way the team is playing. But none of them can do the job that Zach can. There was even a suggestion, Jacob, you and I talked about this. There was a suggestion that Rick Schatz be hired in, which to me is absolute like batshit crazy. But Jacob, you made a comment in the Nation in response to somebody that at this point in the season, they're not going to fire Zach.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to let him go. So whether we agree with what Zach is putting out there is what he feels is the best 11 for this match. I mean, realistically, we're missing two pieces, Bees and Nava, and who we've talked about are the engines that drive a lot of the creativity. We don't know how long Bees is going to be out. We know we don't have Nava at all this year. So, I mean, ideally, who is without those two? Who is missing from a best 11 for us? Who should be in there if it's truly going to be the best 11 against Rising tomorrow?
I think it needs to be a formation change, and I think it needs to be more of a 4-4-2. I think you need Doling and Hurst in there to kind of hold up play, work with each other. I think those are probably the two best options for creativity. Basketball game.
So not necessarily a personnel issue for you. It's more a tactical change.
Well, it's both, because in the 4-2-3-1 that we've been playing, that number 10 position, which is typically Weehan or Nava, was Sergio in the last match. It can't be Sergio. He's that's not his strength. So since you don't have him, you can't have him there. Maybe you put a guy like Jose Sosa or Milo and see what he can do. But I think our better bet is to kind of change things up a little bit. Basically take out that 10 position and put in another 9 and play one as like a false 9 where they can kind of work off each other, where one can be the hold-up player and the other one can make a run behind, and they can kind of take turns doing that and give a little different look to the defense. And I believe we saw some of that against UDA, even if UDA was a lower division team. It was a different look at that time, and I think we need to do something with that. Or maybe it's as simple as if we come out and we beat Phoenix tomorrow, then we just need to wear the turquoise kits from here on out. I don't know.
That very well could be it. I mean, we're already 1-0 in the turquoise kits, so maybe that is the answer. Earl,
speaking of the turquoise kits, I am putting it out there that I am once again opening up the donation door for a turquoise kit. I don't know if they fit small this time, so a large would be perfectly fine. Just putting that out there.
Earl, today was your birthday. Did you not get a kit for your birthday?
I plead the fifth.
So either A, Earl doesn't want to get in trouble, or B, he did not get a kid. Or he did
So
and just didn't want to share it.
here's the thing. Not to get off track, but my birthday today was great.
Okay.
I didn't get any kit. My gift was given to me 2 weeks ago because I went fishing 2 weeks ago, so I got new fishing stuff.
You golfed yesterday too.
I went golfing yesterday. So all the things, and this is gonna sound terrible, and God forbid it comes off that way, but I don't give a shit. Everything I wasn't able to do in my past life, I'm able to do now. So that's my gift. So today I spent, well, I mean, technically the past week and a half I've spent at my girlfriend's house because I haven't worked in the past week and a half.
That doesn't sound like a happy I haven't worked in the past week and a half. That sounds like working for the state is hard. And they've screwed me over a little bit. And
Actually, they didn't screw me over at all. I'm taking
okay.
sick leave because breaking news for everybody.
The hepatitis on your eyes.
Yeah, the genital herpes on my eyeball. So breaking news for everybody. This Monday, I do start a position to where Jacob's Facebook post of hiring seasonal people will be my job.
With Imnerd?
Yeah.
Nice.
So I did pick up an HR position with Emnerd dealing with seasonal employees.
Fuck yeah, Earl. You take Diana's spot then.
I took Diana's spot.
Nice. That's awesome.
I cannot wait.
That's freaking sick. I get to email Earl for work.
You get to email me all fucking day now.
I'm gonna be like, Earl, where's my fucking pay stubs? And then you'll be like, what pay stubs? And I'll be like, I need my damn pay stubs, Earl. Hell yeah, that's sick, bro.
And all I'm gonna say is talk to Giselle.
Earl, you do know that I am attempting to find a job in human
HR.
resources, correct?
And where?
Have you looked at
HR.
at the SPO website? There's a shit ton of them in the SPO website. Just do the legwork and find one on the SPO website.
Okay.
So I do know that State Parks is hiring, and you can go to the academy now in August.
Yeah,
It's
that's
in July. And he said HR, not LE.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I do know there's a position up here in Vegas that's opened up.
Yeah, no.
Chicken shit. Look, beggars can't be choosers.
Albuquerque. I have kids. Albuquerque. I can't go to Vegas.
Bring your kids with you.
Earl, are you gonna have to go into the office every day?
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah, but I don't face any public. I can wear jeans every day if I want.
That's cool.
So anyways, Seth, what were you saying?
I don't even know now. Like,
I hate it here.
You're the one that got us off track.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Rising tomorrow night. We were talking about the is it a tactical thing? Is there someone that you think needs to be in there for best 11? Like, what do you think needs to happen? Because apparently Zach may be second guessing some things, and clearly social media is second guessing Zach as well.
Yeah. Sorry. Girlfriend texting me. I'm texting her. So yeah, I think a formation change would be perfect. I mean, I don't know what formation Jacob said we were in. 4-5-1.
4-2-3-1.
4-2-3-1. Same thing. And I had it. I was like, all right, cool. I can go off of that. But I think not having one person up top, having two, so either like a 4-4-2, a 3-5-2, something along that line, to where you have someone. So even if you have like Hurst and Doling, have those two up top, and you can still work with you where you have Santi and Amando on the pitch. That makes 4 strikers. I mean, you can do quite a lot with 3-5-2. I think that's where you need. I think that's the ideal formation, especially right now, not having Weehan or Nava. So having a 3-5-2, you could pretty much do what you want with that, where you still have your 2 attacker midfield, but you also have the one that could drop back. That's just my thought.
Earl, are you going to be at the lab tomorrow night?
I won't be at the lab tomorrow night. I will be there Saturday though.
You will be the okay.
I'm getting seats. I will have front row seats over in the middle of nowhere. And then maybe we'll go talk to you during like halftime or something.
Okay. Okay, we'll have to talk about that off air. So all right, I mean, yeah. So it sounds like potentially a formation shift, maybe get two at the top. I think two at the top is a great idea. It's something we've talked about here recently as well. I mean, real quick, predictions for the scoreline tomorrow night.
2-1.
Who?
Us.
Okay.
You can't pick a draw. That's the thing here. So I think it goes to PKs, and I think we pull it out.
You read my mind. That's what I was gonna say.
And I'll go like 1-1, and then we go to PKs.
Yeah, I don't necessarily have a lot of faith in either club to score. I think the defenses will do better than the offensive side of the ball for both sides. So yeah, I could see 1-1 going to penalties with us pulling out. Yeah, I think that's it. Because I at this point with what we've seen so far, and Jacob, you and I talked about a lot on Saturday. Where are the opportunities coming from? Where's the chance generation happening? And we haven't seen enough from this team against first team players in the U.S. Championship yet this year. Still some things to be worked out. Those are our predictions. Earl taking a 2-1 win. Jacob and I both saying United advances on PKs over Phoenix Rising tomorrow night out at the lab in the third round of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. Looking ahead to Saturday, Orange County comes in now. First time this season, United has had a homestand of sorts. Back at the lab Saturday night, Orange County, another side that has had a rough go of it here in the early weeks of the season. What was that?
I think it's my refrigerator.
Looking at what Orange County has done so far this year, they are sitting, I believe they're sitting 9th. 1 win, 3 draws, 3 losses. Right, so coming off of a loss to Birmingham Legion 2-1. Prior to that, a win over Indy 11 and a loss to El Paso. So I mean, looking at again Saturday night, Orange County, what does Orange County present as a danger to United?
I think it's similar to Phoenix. I think they have some attacking talent. Milan Lasky, obviously, the Golden Boot winner from last year, is the first name that comes to mind. Now, have they been able to put that together this year? Not really. They've scored more than 1 goal only 1 time this year, and that was against Lights. Their defense has been pretty stout. They gave up 2 against Lights, but then 1 against just about everybody else except for Birmingham. And so they're just very similar to Phoenix in my eyes, as far as I think they're a talented club, just like we are, for instance. But what they actually do with that talent on the pitch is yet to be seen. I mean, they started off 1 loss and 2 draws all at home to start the season. And then they've since had a win and a loss at home the last 2 matches. So they're kind of all over the place. Their road record, a loss and a draw. They haven't played away from home very much, so that might bode well for us. But I think when you're looking at just what they can do to hurt us is the answer to this honestly is against any team until our offense decides that they can actually string together more than 20 minutes of danger, then everybody's best attribute against us is the fact that our offense hasn't been good. And so if you have even a manageable defense that's not a complete sieve, then you have a pretty good chance of holding us to a goal or less with the way the offense is playing right now. And so looking at what they've done so far this year, how their defense has played, how our offense has played, that worries me a little bit. And then you look at the likes of Olaski and oh shit, I can't think of they have two Olaskis, believe it or not, that aren't
Right.
related. But they just have some talent there that makes me a little nervous. Although I would have said the same thing against San Diego, and we were able to play a pretty good defensive game against them. So Thomas Among is over there as well. We'll see who they decide to put out there, but it's just a team that on paper looks like they should be pretty good, and they haven't really put it together, just like us and just like Phoenix. So these 3 games, even though Phoenix is Open Cup and not league play, are going to go a long way in determining like how we should feel about the season, because we're playing 2 teams that are kind of in the same predicament as us, and 2 teams that we should be able to go out and at least compete with. And so if we get run off the pitch by either one, or if we end up losing both of these in some heartbreaking fashion, then maybe we start thinking maybe a change is needed just for change's sake. But I don't think it's going to come to that. I think we're going to pull out an ugly win against Phoenix and PKs, because it's the Open Cup, and that's typically what we do in the Open Cup if we're going to move on. And then Orange County here in league play should be at least a draw, a good-looking draw, if not a really good-looking win.
Yeah, you mentioned the 2 Olaskis. Yeah, obviously Milan and Brian Olaski. They're both, Brian Olaski is not necessarily an attacking threat. He's more of a defensive midfielder from what I've seen of him. He is a guy that can cause some issues, but yeah, I agree with you. Orange County hasn't really put everything together. You mentioned Among and Milan Olaski, 2 guys who we know can score and be threats up top. Looking at their roster, it only appears, and I don't know too much about the Orange County defensive line. It looks like they returned 2 players from last year, Alex Villanueva and Brent Richards, 2 guys to keep an eye on back there, and to see what they can do. And also, we forgot to mention Seth Kasipli, another name that has been floating around the USL Championship for some time. A very capable player, a guy that has played very well for Orange County in the past. So, yeah, I think. And I mentioned earlier, I think we do see some sort of rotation Saturday against Orange County, depending on the results of tomorrow night. Maybe we see Milo and Miles get a shot at the team sheet. Maybe not necessarily a start, but bring them in around 65, 70 minutes. Let them get an opportunity. Maybe Jose Sosa. There are options that Zach has available if he goes that route over the weekend. I do think it's going to be a tough match on Saturday, given our woes so far this year. Again, things could change with a good performance on Wednesday. Things could change with a good performance on Saturday.
So going back to the Saturday, the only way I see a formation change or lineup change is if tomorrow's match goes into extra time or penalties. If it's a clean win in 90 or a clean loss in 90, I don't think we see a formation change. I think we just roll with the punch and just continue on. But if we go into extra time where it's a physical extra time and then we have to actually hit penalties, which God forbid we do, then I think we see Milo come on, we see Jose Sosa come on, and some of the younger squad that we have.
All right. Yeah, we all seem to be in a very similar boat as far as what might happen on Saturday. And yeah, I don't disagree, Earl. I think I think what happens Saturday depends a lot on the result tomorrow. If it is clean win, clean loss, maybe we do see, basically the same group. If it does go extra time, yeah, I think there will be some definite rotation at that point. And you kind of hope, too, that maybe Bees will be back. I don't necessarily think that he will. We haven't gotten an update on the actual injury itself as far as a time frame. But that will be a concern until he does come back. And as far as we know, there aren't any other knocks to anybody. Let me double check my email real quick, just in case David sent something this evening.
I didn't get anything today.
You didn't get anything? Okay.
No.
I'd say I didn't think so, but you never know. So, all right, predictions for Saturday.
Two 2-1. Nah, I'm gonna go 1-0.
1-0. Okay.
I don't know if we're capable of scoring 2 goals right now.
I say 1-1.
Mm,
Only because that whole death minute, dying moments of the match, giving up a goal is still in play. We saw it on Saturday where we gave up a goal at the end of the first half. And no, I did not watch the match, but yeah, that whole giving up a goal when it counts the most still haunts us and still plagues us as it is.
yeah, that was an observation that someone made to me earlier. And we were kind of talking about the Zach mentioned he was second guessing. Maybe there's a lack of confidence there. And I mean, you look at it, 3 consecutive matches, we've opened up the scoring, had a lead, and then given it up. I mean, before I give my prediction, like how much of a factor do you think that plays into Zach's decision making going into this week or into any of the upcoming matches? Like, is it really that big of an issue, or is that just is it mental issues on the pitch? Is it a tactical thing? Like,
I mean, so here's my thing is, yeah, Zach can make a change. I mean, he has the squad for it, but who does he change? Is it the back line? Is it Alex?
it's certainly not Alex.
Like, who do you make the change on? I mean, that's where it's at. The one that went in on Saturday was off of the foot of Harry.
Yeah, that one was a bit unlucky. Harry sliding in to try to make a stop, ball goes basically off his hip and into the goal. Like, yeah.
And we saw it last year where Alex whiffed on a pass that was sent to him, and it scored. So I mean, I don't know who you would change if you do make a change. I just don't know who's your scapegoat at that point.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's a tough decision. I mean, that's why we're not getting paid for it.
We're not getting paid at all, if we're gonna be honest.
No, I mean, I get paid at my job.
Well,
I still don't get paid at this.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happens. I don't know. I think the next couple of weeks are going to be real telling as far as the potential outcome of this season for United. That being said, I think this week is a really good opportunity to get back on track and get some things going. Maybe get some guys get a fire under him. Asante obviously opened his account for the season over the weekend. So maybe that gets a fire going under him. I don't know. But I think Orange County coming to town Saturday, I think we have a really good chance to pick up a win. I'm going to go 2-1 over Orange County on Saturday.
Nice.
All right. I mean, that's all that I had for this evening. Do you guys have any closing thoughts before we get out of here?
No. All righty then.
I guess we should say real quick, it is the 4th minute of stoppage time. Monterey Bay still leads San Jose 1-0.
Nice. So we might have a USL MLS upset after all tonight.
Yeah.
It didn't look promising there for a while. So good deal. I think we have, I don't know what the matches are tomorrow, but I know there's several more MLS versus lower level squads going tomorrow. I know include Rapids against Northern Colorado Hailstorm, so that'll be a good one to watch. Hopefully we can get some fireworks there. Other than that, I don't have a whole lot. Earl, congrats again. Seth, congrats on the social media job there. You guys are moving up in the world finally. glad to see somebody's recognizing talent and giving you guys some shots. Other than that, Harry, thanks for being in the chat. Everybody that's watching, everybody that listens to this in the future, thank you. We will be back tomorrow night. No, you're going to the game, huh, Seth?
Yeah, I'll be there.
So probably not tomorrow night, unless if me and Earl don't go, if we decide to hop on and do a live, but I doubt that. So we'll be back Saturday. Nope. Yeah, Saturday. No, probably not Saturday either.
Probably not Saturday. Yeah.
We'll be back next Tuesday then. Tuesday, 9:00. We'll talk about the last two matches. Hopefully a couple wins there. We'll preview the, is it RGV, I believe?
Yes, RGV for Cinco de Mayo. Yeah.
Yep, RGV match coming up after this weekend. We'll get an update on Earl's first day on the job if he's here. We'll get Seth's talks about 1017 the team. I'm sure he'll have a couple plugs in there with him being a company man now and all. Nobody did the dun for me. I see how it is.
Yeah.
But other than that, if you can catch us on social media. If you need anything, I want to shout out to Tom from Twitter. We got you, man. If you need us, we're here. Other than that, we will see you guys Tuesday, and let's get an advancement in the U.S. Open Cup and 3 points on Saturday. Somos Unidos.
And that's the final in Monterrey, 1-0. Happy birthday, Earl.
Yeah, oh shit, my bad, Earl.